Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Friday, May 14th. We're going to be talking about some NBA DFS picks today on both DraftKings and FanDuel. But before we get started, we're going to take a quick look back at yesterday's picks and see how they turned out. So yesterday on the FanDuel side, we had Malachi Flynn, $5,700. Look for 29 points out of him. Got to 33.5, so he was a hit. Then at shooting guard, Terrence Davis, $5,900. Looking for about 30 points out of him. He got to 37.75 points, so he was a hit as well. Justin Holiday, $4,100. Looking for about 21 points out of him. Got to 45.25, so really good day for him over on the DraftKings side. And then we had Metu at power forward, $4,100. Looking for 21 points out of him. Got to 28.75, so he was also a hit. And then last but not least, our little pivot to JaVale McGee, $3,000. Ended up with 33.75 points. So very, very good day over on the FanDuel side. So if you went with these 5 players yet alone, you had 179 points. So then you had 2 stud players and then hopefully another good value play, and you cashed pretty easily yesterday. Then on the DraftKings side, we had Malachi Flynn once again, $2,500. Looking for about 28 points out of him. Got to 32.3, so he was a hit. His teammate Gary Trent I did have in here and didn't end up in the starting lineup. Then all of a sudden he just didn't end up playing, so he was a mess regardless there. Then RJ Barrett, $6,200, looking for 31 points out of him. Got to 43.3, so he was a hit. And then power forward pivot was Aaron Gordon, $3,900. Looking for about 20 points out of him. Got to 26.6, so he was also a hit. And then last but not least, we had Metu once again, $4,200, looking for 21 points out of him. Got to 26 points overall. So pretty solid day on both sites outside of that little Gary Trent issue, but I'm not going to dig too much into that. It's just kind of something unfortunate that did end up happening. But with that being said, we'll take a look at the injuries in play for today's games. So it is a 7-game slate. This is kind of the size slate that I really do like. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers first off. Hartenstein and Stevens are both out once again. Osman and Garland are both game time decisions. We'll see if they end up playing or not. Washington Wizards are without Bradley Beal once again. Denver Nuggets, PJ Dozier still out. Will Barton game time decision. It looks like Monty Morris and Michael Porter Jr. should both be back today. Then we move over to the Pistons, and as usual, they got a ton of people out. Wayne Ellington, Jeremy Grant, Frank Jackson, Corey Joseph, Rodney Magruder, Mason Plumlee, Dennis Smith Jr., and Isaiah Stewart. Hamidou Diallo is also a game time decision. So there could be a little bit of value in this game. Maybe Josh Jackson steps it up with Frank Jackson out as well and all these other guys. It'd be real interesting to see who starts at center, whether it's Jahlil Okafor or Tyler Cook. They both should have a little bit of value today as well. Then we move over to the Magic. Ross, Porter, Ennis, and Michael Carter-Williams are all out once again. Mo Bamba, game time decision. He's been dealing with a little bit of an illness. Then for the 76ers, Thibault's the only one that's a game time decision so far today, so we'll just keep an eye out on him. Then we move down to the Utah Jazz. Mitchell's still out. Morgan's unlikely to play. Conley's a game time decision. We'll see if he's back today or not. Then for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Muscala, Dort are both out. Tyler Jerome is a game time decision, and Teo Maledon returns to the lineup today. Then we move down to the Toronto Raptors, and I'm not even going to try to play this guessing game. All these guys are game time decisions. We saw yesterday where Chris Boucher wasn't going to play, Aaron Baines wasn't going to play, and then all of a sudden they were both available to play for the game. So just kind of a mess there. I'm probably going to be avoiding Toronto for the most part today. We'll just see what ends up happening with that overall, though. Then the Mavericks just have J.J. Redick out today. Then for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, Serge Ibaka, Paul George, Amir Coffey are all game time decisions. I don't know if Kawhi and Paul George could both be out on the back-to-back. So guys like Monty Morris, Zubac, Beverly, maybe even Reggie Jackson get some more run today overall. Then for the Rockets, still a ton of guys out. Bradley, Brown, Gordon, House, Nwaba, Porter, Wilson, and Wood all out once again. So they pretty much have an 8-man rotation now that they did cut Dalton Jeffries. So I think there's only 8 guys. There might be 9. I could be wrong about that, though. Then for the Kings, Woodard and Halliburton are both out. Fox is unlikely to play. Barnes and Bagley, both game time decisions, as well as Richaun Holmes. Then for the Memphis Grizzlies, McDermott's game time decision, and Grayson Allen is out. And then for the final game of the night, the Pelicans, we've been looking at them missing a couple people as of recent. So Zion, Josh Hart, and Lonzo Ball all still out. Brandon Ingram, Steven Adams, both game time decisions, as well as Wes Amundu. So we'll see who ends up playing out of that three. I don't think any of them play today, but I could be wrong. And then for the Golden State Warriors, we have Oubre and Lee both out once again. Wiggins, Boulder, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry are all game time decisions. So definitely be sure to look out for those four players just because there could be some value looming in this game. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries for today's games. We'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So at the point guard position, there wasn't like a lot that stood out today, honestly. Ish Smith is the guy I went with, $3,900. Looking for 19, 20 points out of him. Playing more minutes, playing slightly better with Bradley Beal missing, so I think he's a safe play today. A lot of these picks are ones that could change throughout the day, though. Then at shooting guard, we got Jordan Poole, $4,100. Looking for 20, 21 points out of him. He's been over that mark like the last 4 times out. If Steph Curry does not play today, he looks like an even better play today. Then we got Anthony Lamb. Played pretty big minutes last time. Played pretty well, $3,700. Looking for 18, 19 points out of him. Like I said, they did cut Dalton Jeffries, so he could see an uptick in minutes again today, especially with all the guys that they do have missing. And then I got Medu at power forward once again, $4,300, looking for 21, 22 points out of him. We've seen what he can do like the last 3 or 4 times out now. So as long as Barnes and Bagley are not back today, he's in play once again. And then at the center position, we got Cam Oliver, who I'd never heard of till last time out. Shout out to D. Brown, actually one of my good friends from True North Fantasy Football as well. He kind of mentioned him to me last time out when we were building a lineup together. So $3,200, gotten over 20 points the last 2 times out. Seems like a pretty safe value play here, especially with all the guys that are missing for the Houston Rockets. But if you go with these 5 players for today, you have $30,800 remaining. Almost $10,300 per player. So you could honestly pay up for 3 stud players or 2 real stud players and a top mid-range guy today. So this is a great flexibility option there. Just kind of pick your spots here and see who's going to do well for you today. Joel Embiid, if he does end up playing against the Magic, he looks pretty nice since the Magic aren't that great against centers. Russell Westbrook's obviously in play. Nikola Jokic, guys like that. Definitely a lot of different options out there today. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So at the point guard position, I went with Ish Smith once again, $4,200. A little bit more priced up here. You're looking for 21 points out of him. I think he's a guy that gets you about 20 to 22 points pretty easily tonight, so not too concerned about him overall. And then at shooting guard, we got Dylan Brooks. $6,000, been playing real well lately, looking for 30 points out of him. Shooting guard was not the nicest overall today. I do like Joe Ingles a lot if Mike Conley does not play because he's only like $5,900. Typically gets you around 30 points as well. And then small forward, once again, we got Anthony Lamb, $3,900. Looking for 19, 20 points out of him today. Like I said, he's going to be getting some of those minutes with all those guys out. And if he's getting the minutes, definitely should be able to pay off for that price tag. Then at power forward, I got Marcus Morris, $4,300. Looking for 21, 22 points out of him. That's about what he's averaging on the season. He might be without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard tonight, so he might have to be that main cog on their offense tonight. So definitely a good matchup for him overall. And then last but not least, at center, we got Medu once again, $4,200. Looking for 21 points out of him. Pretty much everything I already said on the DraftKings side. If Barnes and Bagley are not back tonight, he's going to get the minutes. He's going to play well once again. But if you go with these 5 players over on FanDuel for today, you'll have $37,400 remaining, $9,350 per player. So a ton of value there. Definitely can pay up for guys like Russell Westbrook and then kind of pick your other guys from there as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, May 14th. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the news, injury updates, and starting lineups down in the comments below. So definitely be sure to check them out throughout the day. And then with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Definitely helps build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's truly one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you guys with your fantasy football team, covering all the different football news this offseason. But with that being said, if you guys are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos like this. Like I mentioned previously, not sure how much you guys are wanting to play NBA playoff DFS basketball, but I'll try to make a couple videos here and there for it. probably on the days with more games. I'm not a fan of these smaller slates, especially for NBA DFS though. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Hopefully you all do very well in NBA DFS tonight. And as always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. Definitely here to help you guys out the best that I can. And then last but not least, special shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.